Let's solve a question here. Two tankers contain 850 liters and 680 liters of kerosene oil respectively. Find the maximum capacity. Keep in mind this maximum capacity of a container which can measure the kerosene oil of the both tankers when used at exact number of times. Okay, so the question is something like this. We have a tanker. One tanker is bigger, all right, and another is a little smaller than this, all right, and in both tanker we have kerosene oil, all right, kerosene oil here also, and here also we have kerosene oil. Okay, and the capacity of this bigger tanker is 850 liter, while the capacity of this smaller tanker is 680 liters. Now we have to measure the oil of this both tankers by a container. Let me make a small container. All right, so this is my container, suppose. So with this container I can measure the oil of this tank and this tank in exact number of times, like in this container, suppose 2 liter of oil can be can contain. Okay, so 2 liter of time. So this tanker's oil is exactly 340 times the oil of this smaller container. Similarly, here you'll get 425 times. So the oil in this small container is actually you can say 3 so how can I understand that the oil in this bigger container is 425 exact times of the oil in this small container. Similarly, here what I can understand, the oil in this container is 340 exact times the oil inside this smaller tanker. All right, it is something like this. So this 2 liter I took just as an example. It may be any liter, it may be just randomly any kind of, it may be, right? So if this much amount of oil is here, then let me say this is m times of this and this is n times of this. All right, so what I mean to say that here this 850 liter is actually in this container, suppose in this smaller container this much amount of oil can be contained, then the oil times n times, all right, the oil in the container times n is 850. Similarly here 680 liter it is. So the same container in m times, in m exact number of times, makes 680 liters, just like here 340 times and 484 times. What I mean to say that, like if this is 850 can be written like 2 liter is the capacity of container times how many times? 425. All right. Similarly here 680. How can we write 680? In the same way, 2 liter times how many times exact? 340 times. So here of these 2 liter containers, the bigger container is 425 and the smaller container is 340 exact times. So similarly, I just imagine here of this smaller container, this 850 is n exact times and m exact times. So what is the common thing here? So this time the HCF of this is actually what? Is this container. All right. So this is the common factor, this common factor is this container, and this is only the highest common factor because the question is asking us to find the maximum capacity. So what value is going to give us the answer? The answer is actually the HCF of 850 and 680 is the maximum amount of maximum number or maximum amount of the oil that can be stored in a container, which can measure the exact number of times of this container and of this container. So HCF of 850 and 680 we need to first find out. All right, so to find out the HCF of 680 and 250, let me first write the prime factorization of 680 here. All right, so for 680, 2340 and then 2170 and then 285 and then 5 17. So it is 2 times 2 times 2 times 5 times 17. Similarly here we have now 850. For 850 again, let's do the prime factorization here. 850. All right, so 2 times 4, 25, and then 5 times 8, and then 5 times 5, and then again 5 times 17. So we get here 2 times 5 times 17. So our highest common factor is going to be 2 is common here and 17 is common here. All right, and anything more? Yes, 5 is also common here. So it's going to be 2 times 5 times 70, that is 170. So the maximum capacity of the container is 170 liter. All right, so so here this 170 liter can measure the oil of this 680 liter in exact times. Similarly, 170 liters container can measure the oil of this 850 liter in exact times. All right, if you see this, 107 like this, everybody know that 17 times 4 is 68. So 170 times 4 will be 680, and 170 times 5 will be 850. So this containers 4 times oil is in this smaller container, and this containers 5 times oil is in this bigger container. So this is only the maximum amount of oil that can be stored in a container, which can measure the oil of this both container in exact number of times. All right, I hope you understand this question, and similar type of a lot of questions you need to do. If there is any questions to ask in this video, in this explanation, then please feel free to comment.